We are live on a Saturday night. Hope you're having a great weekend wherever you may be in the Bay Area, in the Mid-States, on the East Coast, on the world, in Paris. Zahoo de la say. I don't know why I did that, but my mother, my late great mother, may she rest in peace. She used to love zahoo de la say. Anyway, I digress. It is the Saturday Evening Post on the Bay Area Media Pulse. You know, folks, isn't it amazing that after I do a series of broadcasts with regards to the Ron Owens, daughter, Laura Owens, Jan Black, the entire drama, I made a point of saying, where is the press? We have no press, basically, in the Bay Area. Where are our newspapers? All dwindling, marginalized. Mercury News, Bang Papers, Chronicle, Hearst, SF Gate, the leader of the In-N-Out News, In-N-Out Burger, Red Burritos in the Mission, where you can get the best pizza. People are standing in line to get pizza in the Embarcadero area. That's what they cover. They cover food, restaurant news, more food, and burritos, sometimes red burritos, sometimes purple burritos, but that's what they constitute as news. But back to my central point here. I made a point of saying, where's the Chronicle? The sfchronicle.com or the Chronicle paper, the physical paper, even though nobody reads newspapers anymore, itself. Same thing with the Mercury, East Bay Times. Well, what a coincidence. All of a sudden, we have a ton of articles. The Mercury News, the Chronicle, SF Gate, whole bunch of articles about Ron, about Jan Black, the bankruptcy, the situation with daughter Laura. Now, look, I absolutely congratulate these once tight news sites that got into the game. They're playing catch up. And it's so funny because part of their stories, I loved ones that amid speculation online that the money on the GoFundMe account that was set up to defray some of Owens, I'm kind of paraphrasing, Owens' medical issues, so forth, amid online speculation. Of course, they're not going to credit me. I don't give a damn about that. It gives me more ammo. But it is so funny. Yes, they watched me. Yes, they used to read me. And I love it. Because anybody else or anyone else, of course, they would credit the person or persons or online site. Because that's called professional courtesy. Something the alfalfa sprout eating sandwich loving 29-year-old pimple-faced reporters don't do at either SF Gate, sfchronicle.com, or the Mercury News. And when I break a huge story soon, then they're going to be really fucked, because then they're really going to have to credit me. But you know what? On the other hand, nobody reads these papers anymore. Sure, online they do, but not to the extent that I'm worried about it. I just find it hilarious, folks, that a story that I first didn't want anything to do with, I covered it because it was professional behavior to cover it, whether I liked it or not, whether I used to be a friend of Ron. I don't think I'm an enemy anymore, but I refuse to let a story go unreported. So yes, last Sunday night, you saw it here. We talked, or at least I did, you reacted, about the BK, the Chapter 13 filed by Ron and Jan, which defrayed, I think, the GoFundMe money, which is still up there, almost $132,000. And look, the cat is out of the bag. I don't know what the hell Ron's doing with the money. As a matter of fact, I worry about Ron's mental faculties. And I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just speaking out loud. This is not the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times. And I'm not being roughshod or irresponsible. I've stated to a few friends, to a few people who have asked me, and I've coalesced and kind of said, I am beginning to think there is some capitulation here. I don't know how else to put it. Have I contacted Ron again? Yes, I have. And I contacted Jan Black. And I said, look, guys, I know you can't talk about Laura, which I don't even want to talk about. That ship has sailed in my book. There'll be a decision in the courts. I'll leave that to the courts. What I am interested in is the money. Show me the money on all that, right? Now, by law, they're not obligated to tell me where is this money going. I can make my own conclusions. Many of you have too. Why? Because it's logical. Because you're a human being with a little bit of a brain. And I'm not trying to pile on Ron. I've said here many times, I don't envy his situation, nor Jan. But it's getting fishy, folks. It's getting to be frail, much like Ron's health. And I'm sure you've seen that picture of him in a wheelchair, hunched over, looking crappy. And his daughter, Laura, dressed as if she just got out of a club, smiling wide and looking just, frankly, it's odd. Back to the online articles. The Mercury News the other day. The Chronicle, they reprinted it again today on Saturday. And folks, look, this is not also a case of, well, I had it first. No, I didn't have it first. I've been talking about it. I've been saying, complaining, lampooning the fact that we have no press here in the Bay Area, that it took this long, that it's curious and not a coincidence that they watch me, which they do. And I take a lot of pride in that. Great. Takes them away from their fucking alfalfa sandwiches with the peanut butter and the Kai lattes, which, by the way, sucks. Kai. Why don't you go have some more oat milk, too? Not oatmeal, oat milk. And Kai lattes. Like, oh my God, we have to drink coffee. We can't drink coffee. It's vermin. No, it isn't. It's fucking great. That's why people drink coffee. Matter of fact, if you look on the internet, on reputable sites, they even say that coffee, and put tea in the mix too, but you don't drink, you only drink tea if you do drink caffeine at all. God forbid, coffee. Coffee, they've said, a lot of studies, Oxford for one, that coffee, drunken socially and otherwise, 2-3 cups a day, actually, it kind of puts off the symptoms and may even negate the ongoing dementia, Alzheimer's. But that's another story. Let's get back to the central thing with the pimple-faced, alfalfa-eating reporters who sit at their desks. They don't go out. They make phone calls on their smartphones, and they watch me. Congratulations. Welcome to the show. That was my Dennis Miller. Welcome to the show. I'm Dennis Miller. I disappeared because I have no act, and I was a left-wing guy, and then I went right-wing because I had no act. Okay, that's my Dennis Miller. Can I get some applause from the YouTube room? My Dennis Miller. Kind of sounds like a little sarcastic bit of the guy at KCBS, the one who talks in the afternoon news from 2 to 7. Hi, I'm Steve Scott. I sound as if I got a stick up my ass, and I do this for a living. No wonder why people lampoon me and Rich Lieberman. Okay, all right, enough of the comedy act. So they're late to the game. Folks, it is so incredibly ridiculous. And yeah, they steal. Of course they do. They watch. If I took something from someone, I always put a little HT with a slash. That's called hat tip, right? That's kind of a journalistic parlor where you give credit if you see something. Like I said, it's called professional courtesy. Even though I think the Chronicle sucks, even though I think SF Gate sucks, unless you like purple burritos and where's the next In-N-Out burger, they're good at that. I always give credit if something is taken and referred to, unless everybody has it. Well, everybody didn't have this. But again, let's go back to the central point. They're late to the game. Now they have to play catch up. And I'm not talking about the shit you put on your hamburger, which, by the way, is another thing. Don't put ketchup on a hamburger. And if you put a ketchup on a hot dog, you will be liberated. But in this case, the opposite. You'll be deported and have to go to Des Moines. My point is they steal. They sit at their fucking desk with their computer and their laptop. God forbid they don't make calls and go out and get out of the elevator and go actually cover a story. I have an excuse. I'm here. I don't go to 3-alarm fires in the Mission or fires up in the wine country. What the hell am I going to say? Well, it's pretty hot out here. It's windy. It's August. That's good for fire weather. I'm so fucking pissed off. It's a Saturday evening. I'm home. And by the way, another side thing. Even when I was in the flow, you guys might be the same situation. I hated going out on Saturday night. It was absolute amateur night, much like New Year's Eve, right? Saturday night. Oh, I think I'm going to go pick Trixie up. It's our first date. I'll take her to Fanaki's. I'm just making up a restaurant name. And it usually goes south. In my case, it always goes south. One of the reasons why you don't go out on a Saturday night or a Friday night. The best night, this is Rich giving relationship advice, which is kind of like Stevie Wonder giving tours of the neighborhood riding the bus. But in any event, you don't go out on Friday or Saturday. Here's a good night to go out, or two. Tuesday. Guys, you take her out on a Tuesday. You don't even have to take her to the most expensive restaurant. But if you do, if she makes love to you, guys, remember, Lieberman said Tuesday night. If she doesn't, forget me. Tuesday night, I'll give you another underrated night. Sunday night. And you could take her to fucking Starbucks even. She'll still love you. She may think you're a cheap son of a bitch, but whatever. And by the way, before the trolls start, Lieberman goes to Starbucks and takes dates there. Nah. I just mentioned it as an example. Why am I whispering? Am I talking like that guy that used to host the movie show? Remember the guy, Lipton? Remember the great movie guy? He used to go like to Richard Gere and said, so tell me, were you touching the gerbils or whatever the fuck they were, Mr. Gere? Hey, man, I really resent that. Fuck you. Now, he didn't say that, but he should have. You guys still follow the Richard Gere thing with the gerbils, whatever the hell it was? I'm going way off. I know, because I'm trying to dilute my annoyance, not anger, my annoyance at these fuckers who now they're reporting the Laura Owens and Ron Owens story. And I'm going to give you my opinion, a semi-opinion, kind of like a semicolon, which is what Reagan had after the operation. Bad joke. Okay. You want to hear a really bad line too? And you guys can use this, okay, all you folks? Here it goes like this, all right? Ready? It is so corny. It is so bad, but you'll use it, okay? 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. The left side of my body, I was in kind of an accident. It's all fucked up. Now I'm all right. Okay, come on. I'm all right. You know, I fucked up the left side of my body. Now I'm okay. Maybe they tell that on Fox News since, it's all right. Get it? Okay. You guys are going to tell it. Don't give me oh, that's bad. Yeah, until you tell it tomorrow to your Aunt Edna, who's currently making a fondue that she's going to show on YouTube. By the way, it's official now. Nobody's fucking on YouTube anymore. Ooh, I think I'm going to make casserole and put it on YouTube. How original. Like as if everybody really wants to know how the fuck I made casserole, which should be forbidden anyway, right? Casserole, bean pie, Lima beans in general, I know they're very good for you. Good. Speaking of semicolons. All right. Folks, this just in. Watch this. Rich loves a good slush. Not even a good slush fund, but a good slush. I know. Love Slurpees. They can never, ever lose their popularity because, hey, I was drinking them and enjoying them way, way, way back then. All right, so back to Ron. And see, you guys get a little bit of an entertainment show. And don't give me shit that it's not funny. How much did it cost you to get in this fucking club? Thanks. But with regards to Ron and Jan, and I've contacted them and given them an opportunity to connect and maybe even do the show. And they haven't even said no comment. They're just staying quiet, which is kind of fucked up in my book. Just say, hey, Rich, we don't want to talk. It's not my ego or anything like that. I just find it kind of odd. They do the bankruptcy filing last Thursday. We know about the $2.5 million in debt. The GoFundMe now has got friends saying, here, you can donate to the GoFundMe. Meanwhile, Chapter 13. The house in Arizona that they paid $1.5 million for, that they took out multiple refis, mortgages. Geez, I wonder why they needed the money. Because lawyers cost money. Lawyers, 7 or 8 especially. And while some lawyers do it for pro bono, which means they don't get paid, oh, folks, you know, they eventually want to get paid. That's how they pay for Slurpees and eggs and bread and Corvette fucking, mufflers and shit like that. Yeah, you need to pay the piper eventually. And when your costs overrun your incoming versus your outgoing, okay. Or was it the other way around? Anyway, I'm just saying. And look, Ron, and I know he watches this because he makes allusions to it. Jan, especially. Ron, I hope you're okay. And I hope that there are people out there, Ron, that are not trying to take advantage of you because of mental faculties. And again, I don't want to make any kind of inference. I'm just saying out loud. And Jan, you of all people who told me that the other folks fighting justice for Clayton and all that were a bunch of scammers and this, that, and the other. No, Jan, they're not. I talked to a lot of them, and all they want, like moi, is an accountability, is the truth. I talked to a couple of women who have texted me, which, by the way, is not a bad idea in and of itself. No, but seriously, who have themselves been in situations where they were wronged. And to see accusations like this and no accountability, and look, Ron and Jan are facing a multitude of dilemmas. I get that. Somebody needs to come and tell messengers like moi where the hell the money is going. That's always been in the background, in the clouds. And only more silence, more convenient, I'm not going to get back to such and such, only adds to speculation that something fishy is taking place and that the money perhaps might be going somewhere other than where it's intended to. Not going to get into a prolonged discussion, but I am going to make an announcement tonight. Starting tomorrow, if all goes well, as Jim Eason used to say, I am going to have an on-air YouTube discussion about all of this. And you folks are absolutely welcomed and invited to ask me any question you want to ask. I'll answer it as truthful as possible. I will give you my take. I will let you know where I feel, where I stand, and all that. I'll try to be, as I said before, clarity is a big word. I will try to be as clear as possible. But this all needs to be talked about. And I know Dave Neal had me on. Thanks, Dave, if you're watching, and all the other people. I had a great time, and he's a good guy. And, I can only judge him by shows that I have seen. I like the guy. And until I don't like him, if he does something stupid, which I haven't seen thus far, then he's okay in my book. Look, everybody's got an agenda. Everybody has certain, orders and this, that, and the other. I get all that, folks. I wasn't born yesterday sipping on Slurpees. Do you like that? Hey, it's a Jew doing disco. Quick impression, ladies and gentlemen, of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. You ready? Quick impression of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Fuck you, that's funny. Fuck you, that's funny. What if Scarface was a stand-up comedian? What would he sound like? Fuck you, that's funny, you fucking mother. Fuck you, that's funny. I am fucking funny. Fuck you. That's Scarface. Okay. Somebody's laughing. Okay, good. Look, folks, I don't charge 2 drink minimums. You came in here at your own risk. Fuck you, that's funny. All right, enough of that. So anyway, it's Saturday, and I don't have any notes. I don't have elaborate graphics, but I'm asking you if anybody out there is electronically inclined and they think I am sexy. I look like Ali Velshi with with an incredibly big dick. Okay. I don't know why I went there either. Remember, who Ali Velshi is? Hi, I'm Anderson Cooper. People watch me for no apparent reason other than I'm gay and I look like I just got out of a cocktail bar in New York and I'm on 60 Minutes. And even though I don't have any ratings, I'm Anderson Cooper. I know your other thing. He looks like Uncle Fester. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm a little hyper. I've had 12 cups of coffee. I'm a little irritated. I had a bad movement the other night. I'll let you kind of figure out. And other than that, everything's cool. I think I'm going to go watch a good movie tonight. And I'm going to... Have you ever called phone sex? Any of you? I know women do that a lot and they won't never admit it because, oh my God. I called phone sex last night. And she goes, well, not tonight. I've got an earache. Oh, I'm Paul Lynn. I was the center square on Hollywood Squares. Okay, folks, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm starting to lose it. I know. I was out of Xanax, and now I'm sipping Slurpees. And by the way, a lot of you asked me about the Howard Stern, since I have the Howard Stern poster. Have I altered my opinion about Howard Stern? Do I think he's up to no good? I don't really know. It's an interesting question because those of you that are on Venus, that's all it's been in the news. Howard's leaving satellite stereo. And, look, I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. I think like everything else, everybody else, he had his moments. He's kind of, what's that cliche? Jump the shark. And I think just people are kind of, I could tell you this, they're still making money. They're just not, they being the satellite radio, serious. I've heard from people, my sources, they're still making money. They're just not making the kind of money they used to make. So with Howard, and by the way, that $100 million per year, that's all bullshit. Look, he made a very comfortable living. He gets tons and tons of money and buybacks and stocks and all that shit. Never $100 million, okay? I make that. No, I don't. But anyway, so that, I just think it costs too much money. They have a very limited kind of an audience lately. And, I think he's going to end up doing movies again. Just my opinion. He's 71, which is not the end of the world. It used to be 71 is old. Now it's not young, but it's not old. That. Colbert, Stephen Colbert. And I got a nice little juicy nugget for you here. He's got a brother who, his name is Ned. And his name is Ned Colbert. So go look at that now. Stephen Colbert is a total bullshit thing. But that's fine. I like Stephen Colbert, at least until he started to do politics every night. And by the way, folks, most of his politics I support. I'm on that side. But I don't tune in at 11:30 to hear politics. To me, it's as simple as that. Give me funniness. Give me comedy. Give me your interview with Elton John or Billy Joel and all that. I don't want to hear about the fact that you think Trump is a douchebag. We all know that, Steve. And he's getting all these offers as if he's some fucking, Johnny Carson. Let me give you my information, okay? If you want to text me, or women, if you're out there and you have pity for a bald Jewish guy who used to make love with a beautiful woman. That's a lyrics from a song. When you're in love with a beautiful. Okay. 415 99. What the hell was that? Where did that come from? 415 999. It's 3 9s. 4454. What the hell? What am I, fucking Lou Ferrigno? Lou Ferrigno doing jumping jacks. Okay. Cheap shot, I know. 415-999-4454. If you want to email me, Rich, R-I-C-H, dot Lieberman, Lieberman, at gmail.com. Once again, RICH.Lieberman, Lieberman, at gmail.com. If you want to email me, that's where you go. Well, of course, you send me an email on my text line. Anyway, if you want to call me and go like this, I have lots of practice. Okay, won't touch that. Can't touch this. 415-999-4454. So here's the deal. I'm Ross Perot. Here's the deal. I hated Jim. Who did I hate? I hated the Bush, and I helped Bill Clinton get elected president. Okay, old story. But anyway, if you want to call me, if you want to email me, you got the information. If you want to text me, tomorrow on Sunday at 10 o'clock Pacific time, because I get up way early, and I'll be on my 7th cup of coffee. Well, you never have a second cup of coffee. Where did that come from? Okay. God, folks, this is what happens when your parents sniff airplane glue. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Okay. 10 o'clock Pacific time. So 1 o'clock in the East, 12 Midwest. If you're in Siberia, I believe it'll be 7 o'clock. Or is it 10 o'clock? I don't know. 10 o'clock here on YouTube. You could talk about my head. And yeah, I know. I look like it in the game of hide and go seek. I know that. Anyway. 415-999-4454 if you want to talk after the show and you have a tip or information, or you want to tell me about your, willingness to have an affair with me. Look, just do this. Tell your husband or girlfriend or, wifey, honey, I met this guy online. He was kind of weird. I wanted to kind of, I think he thought I was a psychic and I was going to help him. And he just treated me like, so cool. That's right. Ladies, men, I love you, but I like women. I like vaginas. If you call me and you would like to discuss world defense or the Ron Owens Laura thing, I know a lot of you out there. Look at this, for God, look at this. Look at this YouTube. See, somebody was accusing me the other day. You have no audience. Well, that's how the column started. There was no audience, and then we became second only to Reverend Ike in terms of hits and everything. By the way, those of you who don't know who Reverend Ike is, an obscure reference, look it up. Go to Google, Reverend Ike. That's all you need to do, and you'll say, kind of like Andy Rooney. quick impression of Andy Rooney. Those of you who don't know, Andy Rooney, 60 Minutes and assorted other things. All right, Andy Rooney in 3, 2, and 1. Why do they call him a pervert? Do you ever wonder why they use the word pervert? Sounds kind of gooey to me. Why do they call it marshmallows? It's not very mellow. It's kind of a Halloween candy. This is Andy Rooney. Why is Mike? Well, Mike's no longer with us, but if he was, neither is Andy, but in those days. I think Andy Rooney is a very good looking man. Why is Mike Wallace kind of hard up on getting dates? I'm Andy Rooney, and this is 60 Minutes. Okay, enough of this shit. Folks, I had no idea I was going to do dumb jokes and lines and all that, but it's and what the fuck? I hate shout out. A shout out. How about a plug? How about a mention? Shout out. What are we on? Fucking, it's the people who clap out of place in clubs and shit like that. Dave Neal, you will, if you see this eventually, which you will, you'll agree with me. What are these, seals? For God's sakes. All right, folks, so 415-999-4454. It's cooled down. The fog is coming in. The tide is high, and we're moving on. I want to be your number one. Okay, horrible. That was Debbie Harry. Counting down the top 20, Debbie Harry with The Tide is High, which was a fucking shitty song. She had good songs. She did. Tide is High sucked. Who agrees with that? Somebody's laughing. Oh, somebody's going to all caps. Ooh, Rich, let's see. Double your, what is that? Double your something. I can't read it. Oh, my sugar or my soup or whatever. I can't see it. Whoever sent that, just. All right, 415-999-4454. It's kind of like, Bill Maher when he's done with his show and he says, I'll see you on somebody calling me to fuck me up. You know what? I can't get fucked up. I take calls all day. So you're not fucking me up. Or it could be somebody that, is having a baby and they need me to deliver. So Bill Maher always says, hey, see you on YouTube and all that shit. Well, I take calls, folks. I do. And therefore, like I said, women get preferential treatment and not, biological women. I want full eyes, nose, ears, breasts, that kind of a thing. We go to Walter Cronkite, who's taking calls right now on the situation in Baltimore Bay where another bridge has fallen down. That's right. This is Walter Cronkite. I have reemerged from the dead to tell you about another bridge that is falling down in Baltimore because, let's face it, it's Baltimore. Who gives a shit? I'm Walter Cronkite, and that's the news. See you later. All right. 415-999-4454. Okay, you're calling. I will now take a quick exit because time's up. And I may be back later, but don't forget, Sunday, August 24th, tomorrow, 10 o'clock Pacific, we will have a much more serious presentation, and we will talk about the Laura Owens, Ron Owens, Jan Black, and you guys, all of you, tell your friends, your enemies, your priest, your rabbi, your lawyer about this discussion. And I will, and again, we're all free. You're all free to roam about the cabin. Okay. No, but we'll talk at 10 o'clock tomorrow, and it's an open forum. How long will it be? We'll start at a half hour. If there's momentum and you guys want to talk about this and you have decent questions and we don't get salty, we'll go longer. I have no obligations, right? Okay. So thank you for watching. Oh, shit, I forgot. Please become a subscriber. I gave you now, what is this? How long will we be in here? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. A comedy show, a Macy's impression, the Thanksgiving Day parade. We've talked serious shit. I've given you my opinion. What did it cost you? I'm better than the fucking infomercials on one of your 5,000 cable or streaming channels, that kind of a thing. And you laugh. I know some of you are going to give me shit, but in the background, you're going, that guy's funny. I am funny. What do you mean I'm funny? You mean like I'm a clown? Like I amuse you? What do you think? I'm fucking funny? Like I'm an animal? Like I'm funny? Like you think I'm fucking funny? How dare you think I'm funny? Like what? I'm a funny man? Like what? You think I'm funny? Look it up. I know most of you know where that came from, but okay. 415-999-4454. Become a subscriber. Like me. Kick me in the ass. Do whatever you want to do, but please come on the channel. The more subscribers I get, I can pay for unwanted pregnancies and things of that nature. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Women, I'm 62. I'm not gay. I have a penis and I'm available. I have good credit, an 800 score. No open accounts either. Phone's ringing. Okay. See, you didn't fuck with me. I don't care. I like that. All right. We will see you later. 10 o'clock Pacific. The fuck has gotten into me? 10 o'clock Pacific time on Sunday. Guys, there's no football, so relax. It's a boring end of August. Women, call me tomorrow. Call me tonight. But don't forget, right here, YouTube, 10 o'clock Pacific time, we will talk about Ron and Laura and Jan Black, and I will give you my honest opinion, okay? See you later. And thanks for watching.